folks, welcome back to one of the most enthralling Science Scamper sessions for classes 6 to 8 by EduCatUp, and I am your super science teacher Ambika. At EduCatUp, we always ensure to empower all our students as how to think and not what to think. So if you want to experience the same, ensure to subscribe the EduCatUp YouTube channel. The subscription button is just given below, guys. If you like our video, don't forget to press the like button and ensure to hit the bell icon to get all the latest updates from EduCatUp. Now let's start today's session, and the topic for the day is garbage in, garbage out. Oh my God, this is something very exciting and my very favorite, because this is something what we all are doing. We all are creating a lot of litter, a lot of garbage, no doubt in that. Even if you don't believe me, just check the dustbin in your room, maybe next to your study table. It must have something or the other. So garbage is something which is like completely associated with we humans. Wherever we are, we will make something or the other as a garbage and throw it out. So what is garbage, how it has to be managed, what are the practices done to manage the garbage, to dump it off, we are going to discuss in this module. So now let's see what are the topics under this heading. First, we are going to discuss about landfills, then sorting garbage, composting, vermicomposting, paper recycling, plastic, a necessary evil, and last but not the least, garbage reduction. So now, without making any further delay, let's start this very interesting and very important topic. Garbage, an unusable and unwanted material. So anything which is unusable and unwanted is considered as a garbage. जिसका कोई इस्तेमाल नहीं हो सकता, जिसकी कोई ज़रूरत नहीं है, वो हम क्या मान लेते हैं? Garbage है. It's a litter. It should be thrown away. But where it should be thrown away? That is a big question. See, when we are going out and we had a packet of chips, maybe Bingo Mad Angles or Lay's Magic Masala or American Onion flavor, or maybe Uncle Chips, Bole Mere Lips, Uncle Chips. So those kind of things, what happens? We eat and then we are driving in a car. Sometimes what generally people do, they will open the glass of the window and the packet is out. That should be done or not? I'm sure you all must be nodding your head in no. No, ma'am, it should not be done. But we all have seen people doing that. We all have seen. So the basic question what I've asked you is this only, that we create garbage, whatever is unusable and unwanted is garbage. But then where that garbage has to be thrown is a big question, and generally people are not following it to the T. Because if we all will follow it to the T, that where the garbage has to be thrown, there will not be a problem of garbage heaps and a lot of land or soil pollution. So now let's see further. Landfills. Now what are landfills? I'm sure you must be having 2 or 3 dustbins at your place at least. That means one in the living room, one in the kitchen, and one maybe in the common corridor. So why your parents or your guardians have put up 3 to 4 dustbins, or maybe one dustbin in each room or in the washrooms? Why is it so? See, in the kitchen you have different kind of garbage. In the kitchen you have vegetable and fruit peels, you have rotten food also sometimes, some waste kitchen things, cooking things also. So you have a lot of things. Then when we talk about living room, in living room sometimes we have maybe a paper napkin or maybe a rough page which has to be thrown, those kind of things. Then in your room, what all you can have, you will, as you are a student, so maybe you are throwing a used pen, then rough pages, or sometimes you are sharpening your pencil, your eraser dust. So you have different kind of garbage. If we talk about the washroom dustbins, over there you can have the toilet papers, toilet napkins, sanitary napkins. If you have small babies at home, their diapers, so poco pants, these kind of stuff. And this is how we people used to segregate the garbage, or we people used to put the dustbins or the dumping bins in different rooms or at different sites. Now, how it goes ahead? Then what we do in the morning, maybe we have a big dustbin in which all the materials from all different dustbins have been put up. Or what we do when the cleaner comes or the sweeper comes, we put all the garbage from different dustbins into its cart, into his cart, isn't it? Or in the municipality truck which is coming, we put it into that. So now the sweeper just comes and collects it from all the houses in the locality. Then the sweeper from his cart, he dumps that garbage into a municipality truck. The municipality trucks takes this garbage to a dumping ground, and that dumping ground is actually your landfill. Landfill is a low-lying open area. Low-lying means नीचे की तरफ होता है, ढलान वाला होता है, निचला हिस्सा होता है. Low-lying से मतलब ये है, suppose if this is the surface of the land, landfill may be made like this. ऐसे गड्ढा करके बनाया है, डिग करके बनाया है, in short अगर कहें तो. And it is always situated far away from the residential areas, from the places which have water sources like rivers or anything, ponds or lakes. इन सब जगहों से बहुत दूर शहर के एकदम बाहर की तरफ बनाया जाता है. Because it is a dumping ground. The garbage of the complete city is dumped over it. Now, as it contains every kind of garbage, भाई municipality trucks पूरे city में से garbage collect करते हैं. It's not only about houses, hospitals, factories, shops. From everywhere the garbage or the litter is being collected by the municipality trucks, and then it is being dumped on the landfills. So landfills actually becomes a breeding ground of many germs, insects, mosquitoes. So that is why these landfills are always made very far away from residential areas, from the cities. शहर से लोगों की रहने की जगह से बहुत ही दूर होते हैं, because वहाँ पे बहुत सारे germs, mosquitoes, flies, इस टाइप के insects breed करते ही हैं, because इतना garbage होता है. Alright, so this is a landfill where the final garbage is being dumped. It is always a low lying, नीचे मतलब निचला गड्ढा करके बनाया जाता है. Alright, now let's move ahead. Action-packed info, guys. See, in the beginning only you are getting something interesting to know. Just pay attention to it. Landfill can be used for a garden or a park, but no building can be constructed on it for a period of at least 20 years. A prime example of a landfill garden converted into a beautiful park is the Indraprasth Millennium Park in New Delhi. Children, if you haven't visited it, next time when you go to the capital of the country, New Delhi, you must visit this park, because this park is actually constructed on a landfill site. पहले वो जगह एक landfill थी जहाँ पे शहर का एक बहुत सारा garbage का हिस्सा डंप किया जाता था, लेकिन जब वो पूरा फिल हो गया लैंडफिल, बिकॉज आपको पता है वो ऐसे डिग करके बनाया जाता है, तो एक टाइम आएगा जब वो लैंडफिल पूरा फिल हो जाएगा. सो वंस द लैंडफिल इज फिल, अ गार्डन इज कंस्ट्रक्टेड, अ गार्डन और अ पार्क कैन बी इजीली कंस्ट्रक्टेड ओवर इट, सो दैट वो सब कचरा अंदर ही रह जाए और उसकी स्मेल और उस लैंड का वेस्टफुलनेस खत्म हो जाए. उस पर कोई भी बिल्डिंग आप 20 ईयर्स तक नहीं बना सकते, बिकॉज सॉलिड फाउंडेशन नहीं बन पाएगा. 20 ईयर्स के बाद कोई भी बिल्डिंग कंस्ट्रक्ट हो सकती है, बट बिफोर दैट अ पार्क और अ garden can be easily constructed, and Indraprasth Millennium Park is a very good example of it. Now let's move ahead. Now, sorting garbage. Now see, there is a way of differentiating the garbage. The first is to differentiate between useful components and non-useful components. If we say useful components, that means the materials which can be recycled and which can be reused. यानी कि वो चीज़ें जिन्हें आप दोबारा से use कर सकते हैं या उनको दोबारा से recycle करके नया बना सकते हैं, तो वो useful components हो जाते हैं. Like for example, paper, isn't it? Paper can be recycled. Then your a lot of tin products, metal products which can be reused, so those kind of things. Then your non-useful components are those materials which cannot be recycled or reused, जो दोबारा से reuse नहीं किए जाते हैं. The best example can be fruits and vegetable peels. सब्जी और फलों के छिलके, उन्हें तो आप दोबारा से यूज नहीं कर सकते. किसी चीज को कवर करने के लिए क्या आप यूज कर सकते हैं? Can you use them again? No. So they are non-useful components. So first, garbage has to be segregated between useful components and non-useful components. Useful components are those which can be reused and recycled, and non-useful components are those which cannot be reused and recycled. Alright, the next step is, you have two types of dustbins these days, even at your home and even in public places. One is of green color and one is of blue color. Okay, now what is the difference and why there are two different colors? Green colored dustbins are used for the materials which are biodegradable, and blue colored dustbins are used for the materials which are non-biodegradable. Now what is biodegradable? Biodegradable are those substances which can easily mix up with the soil and will do not affect soil in any harmful way. For example, vegetable and fruit peels. सब्जी और फलों के जो छिलके होते हैं, अगर आप उन्हें सॉइल के ऊपर डाल देंगे तो वो सॉइल के संग मिक्स हो जाएंगे और सॉइल की फर्टिलिटी को, उपजाऊता को और बढ़ा देंगे. दे विल इंक्रीज द फर्टिलिटी. दे विल नॉट हार्म द सॉइल एट ऑल. सो दीज आर कंसिडर्ड एज बायोडिग्रेडेबल मटीरियल्स. एंड नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल मटीरियल्स विच कैन नॉट बी रॉटन विद द सॉइल, ना तो जो सॉइल में मिक्स होंगे जबकि वो वैसे ही रहेंगे इंटैक्ट अगर आप उनको सॉइल में दबा देते हैं, एंड in addition to that they will harm the fertility of the soil. They will make the soil infertile. वो सॉइल को और नुकसान पहुंचाएंगे. सॉइल पोल्यूशन होगा, सॉइल पॉइजनस भी हो सकता है. सो दोज मटीरियल्स आर कॉल्ड नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल. नाउ बायोडिग्रेडेबल मटीरियल्स आर लाइक plant wastes, animal wastes, cow dung, then your paper. And non biodegradable materials are like plastics, glass, metals. सो ग्रीन कलर्ड के जो आपके डस्टबिन्स हैं वो हैं सिर्फ बायोडिग्रेडेबल मटेरियल्स के लिए, जो सॉइल में रॉट हो सकते हैं, सॉइल में मिक्स हो सकते हैं और सॉइल को कोई नुकसान नहीं पहुंचाएंगे. एंड ब्लू कलर्ड डस्टबिन्स आर ओनली फॉर नॉन बायोडिग्रेडेबल सब्सटेंसेज, जो ना तो सॉइल में मिक्स होते हैं और अगर आप उन्हें सॉइल में मिक्स करेंगे तो वो एज इट इज़ रहेंगे 50 ईयर्स के बाद भी और सॉइल को पॉइजनस बना देंगे, उसकी फर्टिलिटी चली जाएगी. सो two ways of sorting the garbage. The first was useful and non-useful components. The second is biodegradable and non-biodegradable components. All right, now let's move ahead. Composting, process of the formation of compost. Compost means manure, एक तरीके से खाद बनाना. That is नेचुरल खाद बनाना, फर्टिलाइजर्स का यूज नहीं करना है, नेचुरल कंपोस्ट या नेचुरल मैन्योर बनाना, दैट इज कंपोस्टिंग. फॉर कंपोस्टिंग द फर्स्ट थिंग इज डिकेइंग, दैट इज द प्रोसेस ऑफ रॉटिंग ऑफ बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट. वही बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट आपका आ गया पेपर, योर प्लांट वेस्ट, एनिमल वेस्ट, फ्रूट्स एंड वेजिटेबल पील्स, ड्राई लीव्स, डेड प्लांट्स, डेड एनिमल्स, ये सब आपके बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट हैं. तो सबसे पहले तो बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट को सड़ाना होता है और ये जब सड़ने लगता है यही डिके होके किस में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है, मैन्योर में या कंपोस्ट में. कैसे करते हैं, लेट्स हैव अ लुक टू द प्रोसेस. फर्स्ट यू नीड टू सिलेक्ट अ ड्राई शेडी स्पॉट नियर अ वाटर सोर्स. First take a spot, decide where you have to make the compost. The spot should be dry. It should be near a water source and it should have a shade. That means a little bit of trees should be there. Then you have to take a tin or some box or some gunny bag in which you can put up everything. You have to put up the layers of soil and the biodegradable waste in alternate manner. That means एक बार आपने soil की layer लगाई, उसके ऊपर आपने अपना बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट डाला, मे बी प्लांट्स, डेड लीव्स, कोई डेड एनिमल है वो, या पेपर वेस्ट है वो सब डाला. फिर अगेन सॉइल, देन अगेन बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट, अगेन सॉइल, अगेन बायोडिग्रेडेबल वेस्ट. दैट इज हाउ इट हैज़ टू बी पुट अप. देन यू हैव टू कीप योर दिस कॉम्पोस्ट अ लिटिल वेट. उस पर हल्का हल्का वाटर स्प्रिंकल करना है, उसे गीला नहीं करना है बट डैम्प करना है. आफ्टर दैट ओकेजनली यू हैव टू मिक्स इट ऑल्सो, कभी कभी उसे बीच में ऐसे ऐसे मिक्स करते रहें. Then when you see that steam or water vapors are coming out of it, actually ऐसा लगता है कि धुआं निकल रहा है उसमें से, so there is nothing to be worried of. It's just that biodegradable substance has started decaying. वो जो steam निकलता हुआ दिखाई देता है, that is a signal that your process of making compost is going fine, because the biodegradable substance which you have put, maybe the dead plants, dead animals, vegetable and fruit peels, वो सब decay होना start हो गया है, सड़ना start हो गया है और organic matter में convert हो रहा है. That is why that a little steam is coming out. And once it is done, then you can just take the compost and put it in the plants, in your garden, wherever you want, and you can see that your plants, flower plants, everything will grow so nicely because it is a manure. It will add to the fertility of the soil. So that is how you can make natural compost at home very easily. All right, now let's move ahead. Yeah, Okay children, I hope you all must be liking the video, so it's time to press the like button. And if you have any doubts, queries, questions, and if you want to put your valuable feedback, you are most welcome children. Put anything in the comment box below and I ensure you that your super science teacher Ambika will definitely get back to you ASAP. Now let's continue, that is vermicomposting. It is a method of preparing compost with the help of red worms. Worms जो red color के होते हैं, they are actually red in color and that is why they are known as red worms. So the compost which is prepared with the help of red worms is known as vermicompost and the process is known as vermicomposting. It is a very economical, that means very cheap, सस्ता होता है, and it is very environmental friendly way of making manure or compost, okay, rather than using chemical fertilizers. Let's move ahead. Action-packed info guys, very important. Earthworms are also called as farmer's friend because they always increases the fertility of the soil. Now red worm is also a type of earthworm only. You know that in a day a red worm can eat equal to its weight. जो भी एक रेड वर्म का वेट है वो एक दिन में उतना ही खाना खा सकते हैं and they don't even have the teeth, you know, to grind or crush that food. उनके पास टीथ भी नहीं होते हैं, हमारे पास तो हैं, स्टिल वी कांट ईट दैट मच. कैन वी ईट जितना हमारा बॉडी वेट है, कैन वी कंज्यूम दैट काइंड ऑफ फूड? नो, नॉट एट ऑल. बट रेड वर्म्स कैन कंज्यूम दैट मच फूड एज they have their weight and they don't even have the teeth to crush it. So how do they manage? They have a special organ inside their stomach which is called gizzard. In that gizzard the food is crushed and grind. Always remember this children. Now, paper recycling, very important thing and very easy thing to do even at home. Paper is a biodegradable substance and it is derived from wood, that means from trees. It can be reused, that means you can again and again use the paper obviously and you can recycle it, so that both the practices will reduce deforestation, that is cutting down of trees. If you are using the paper again, if you are recycling it, obviously you are reducing cutting down of trees because for making paper, trees have to be cut down. Now using paper for book covers, for example, see, you have newspaper at home. You can use it in many ways after reading it also. Before giving it to the kabari wala, try to use it in different ways, isn't it? Then making paper bags, paper dustbins, paper mash are some of the ways to utilize paper again and again. Let's move ahead. Plastic, a necessary evil. Now this is a very interesting phrase. A necessary evil. Necessary means जिसकी बहुत ज़रूरत है और evil मतलब जो बहुत bad है. So plastic is something which is a necessity but at the same time it is extremely bad. Children, this is a kind of an invention which humans have done without knowing the consequences. And even when the consequences were opened, humans have not stopped themselves. Plastic is something with which we are completely surrounded. If you just turn yourself and see in your room, you will find ample of things containing plastic in some or the other form. Even everything is containing plastic. You can't find, maybe one or two objects you will be able to find in your room which are not containing plastic in any form. Like for example, if I'll talk about myself right now, I'm holding this pen and the cover is of plastic. Behind me is a big smart screen put up. The frame is of plastic. I am wearing this specs, so the lenses are of flexible plastic. So, isn't it? I am wearing this watch and inside the watch in the machine there are a few components which are of plastic. So if you see, actually we are completely surrounded with plastic and today we can't imagine almost, no product can be made without plastic. We have different qualities in plastic. You can get a plastic product for 5 rupees also and the same type you can get in 500 rupees also. The difference is only in the quality. कोई प्लास्टिक 10 दिन में खराब हो जाएगा, कोई प्लास्टिक 10 महीने में खराब होगा. That's the only difference. But we need plastic. We are dependent on plastic and we are including plastic in everything. It is an integral part of our life. बाकी मेटल्स के ऊपर या दूसरे आयरन, स्टील, इनके ऊपर क्यों हम प्लास्टिक को यूज़ करते हैं? Why it is preferred? It is preferred for its durability. लंबे समय तक चलता है. Light weight, बहुत हल्का होता है. Easy to carry, easy to lift. एंड नॉन रस्टिंग प्रॉपर्टी, जंग नहीं लगती है, खराब नहीं होता है, रंग नहीं जाता है, फेडेड नहीं होता है, isn't it? Indiscriminate use of plastic is actually harming the environment. इतना ज़्यादा हम लोग प्लास्टिक का यूज़ कर रहे हैं that we have stopped thinking about our environment. Just imagine plastic polythenes is the best example. Whenever we have to go out, we are purchasing something from a departmental store, everything is coming in the plastic polythenes. Why can't we take a cloth bag with us and we can ask the shopkeeper bhaiya to put everything in that cloth bag, rather than taking big polythenes every time? And then what we are doing with those polythenes? Nothing per se. We keep them for some time at home and then we throw them out. And when we throw them out, where actually they are going? In the soil or in the stomach of a street animal, making it die. Or maybe with the garbage, it is going into the rivers, making it poisonous, and then poisonous water is again coming back to us. So we are not understanding the consequences and the harmful consequences of plastics which we are actually facing. We should always try not to store food in plastic. कोशिश करिए कि खाने का सामान प्लास्टिक के कंटेनर्स में ना रखें, या कम से कम ऐसे प्लास्टिक में रखें जो फूड ग्रेडेड होता है, यानी कि जिसमें खाने की चीज़ें रखी जा सकती हैं. ऐसा प्लास्टिक अलग आता है, सिर्फ उसी में रखें. किसी भी प्लास्टिक के कंटेनर में कुछ भी खाने का सामान रख देना इज़ नॉट एट ऑल हेल्दी. ट्राई टू कीप इट इन स्टील बॉक्सेस, दैट्स अ बेटर वे. And limit the use of plastics. Try to avoid the use of plastic as much as possible. Stop using plastic bottles for keeping water. Use glass bottles, but be careful. Be careful in using, and use glass bottles. If you keep a bottle for drinking water when you are studying, avoid it. Keep it in a glass. Keep a glass of water. Have a steel glass, keep water in it. Or a copper glass, better idea, rather than keeping a plastic bottle. So avoid using plastic as much as you can. Garbage reduction. How we can reduce the garbage? जितना टॉफ़ी के रैपर्स, चिप्स के रैपर्स, waste paper, pencil sharpens, a lot of things you have as a garbage. How can you reduce the garbage? Always try to carry a cloth bag or a jute bag whenever you are going for a shopping. Avoid taking extra paper bags from shopping malls. Avoid taking plastic polythenes from departmental stores. Avoid these kind of things. Because if even you are trying to avoid to take the paper bags, you are actually preventing or you are reducing the cutting down of trees, isn't it? Never use plastic bags to store readables. कभी भी plastic bags में, plastic containers में खाने का सामान मत रखिए. We should never burn plastic bags and other plastic items. Plastic is something जिसको आप burn नहीं कर सकते, पानी में नहीं डाल सकते, soil में नहीं दबा सकते. There is no way to dump it off. It can only be recycled and reused. So don't try to, dump off the plastic. Try to use vermicomposting at home and kitchen waste usefully. That means your vegetable and fruit peels, dead leaves of your garden, try to make compost from them rather than just throwing them away. You should try to recycle the paper. You should try to write on both sides of the paper. If you have a writing pad, children, try to write on every single mark, every single part of it. ये नहीं एक लाइन लिखी और फाड़ के फेंक दिया. Please don't do that. That's really ridiculous. I'm sorry to say, but yes. So always try to fill the complete paper. Try to use a slate, and even these days you have digital writing pads on which you can write and then you can erase. Try to use them for doing rough work rather than wasting paper. Use blank sheets of paper left in your notebooks, in your writing pads for doing the rough work. Rather than purchasing a new notebook for rough work, use the leftover pages in your last session's, last class notebooks. And you should try to make your family, community, friends, relatives aware about the harmful consequences of plastics and how they can reduce garbage and what kind of practices they should use so that garbage can be reduced and environment can be kept clean. You should try to guide them. As you are learning these things, you should pass on these things. All right? Now let's see ahead. Action-packed info, guys, and trust me, it's very important. It's the latest thing you should know. That's the 5R. Initially, it was 3R, then it was 4R, and now it's 5R. That means a plan to sustainability. Think green, act green, and live green. What actually you should do so that you can reduce pollution, garbage, and use of plastics. First is refuse. That means replace and don't purchase. हम नया कोई प्लास्टिक का सामान नहीं खरीदेंगे तब तक जब तक हमारा सारा पुराना प्लास्टिक बिल्कुल भी ख़त्म नहीं हो जाता है, यानी बिल्कुल भी यूजेबल कंडीशन में जब तक नहीं होगा वो, तब तक हम कुछ भी नया नहीं खरीदेंगे. जब तक उसे यूज़ कर सकते हैं, वी विल ट्राई टू यूज़ इट अगेन एंड अगेन. सो से नो, से refuse to purchase of new plastics or new paper bags or new notebooks till the time you have not used your older things. Reduce. That means reduce the usage of plastic, reduce the usage of paper. Then reuse. Use over and over again. If you have a plastic container, try to use it for many different things rather than to purchase a new every time. If you have a pencil box of plastic, use it. Why not? If you have purchased it one time, use it as much long as you can. Then repurpose, reform, repair. अगर कोई चीज़ खराब हो गई है प्लास्टिक की, आप उसको फेविकॉल से या फेविस्टिक से जोड़ के ठीक कर सकते हैं. प्लीज़ डू इट एंड डू DIY. That is, do it yourself. Don't depend on others for that. And recycle. Reuse materials as resources. दोबारा से पुरानी चीज़ों से ही नई चीज़ें बना लेना. आपके पास कोई पुराना प्लास्टिक है जिसको आप कुछ नए उसमें ऐड करके कुछ बना सकते हैं. प्लीज़ गो अहेड. You have a lot of sources these days. Utilize them, children, and it's time for 5R. I request all the children from side of Educator team that ensure to spread this 5R concept to as many people as possible at your home, in your friend circle, at your school, that it's very essential. You can even make posters and put it up. It's very important to spread the awareness about the reduction of garbage and the idea of sustainability, like think green, act green, and live green, children. All right? So we have come to the end of this super enlightening session about garbage and its reduction, the 5R principle. And I'm sure that you all have liked this video. So you must press the like button and subscribe to the Educative YouTube channel for more enlightening and updating videos coming up in the future. Children, for me, your super science teacher Ambika, it's time to sign out. But till the time we meet again, be happy, be safe, keep reducing the garbage, try to follow the 5R principle, and keep enriching yourself with Educative. Bye-bye, children.